Hi everyone, this is going to be just a short demonstration video for my new add-on called Slice and Separate for Blender. It allows you to slice an object into multiple slices based on a distance, and it will save each of the slice parts as its own objects. So the way this works is you select your object. If you select something that's not a mesh, the Slice and Separate button will gray out. You select your object, then you select the longest side of your object. That's gonna be your axis. So you can either set it by using these buttons, or you can hit the detect axis button, which will detect based on the bounding box of your object. It will detect the longest side and then slice the object along this axis. So if I now set a distance, let's say 0.6, and then I hit the Slice and Separate button, it will slice the object into multiple slices that are then visible in the outliner. As you can see, it sliced the object into multiple other objects. It will still keep the original mesh and just hide it, but only in the viewport. So make sure to delete it or also hide it for the render before you render your scene. Another thing to notice is that if you set the distance to an amount that's higher than your actual length of the object, the Slice and Separate button will gray out as well. Because, yeah, let's say your object is 10 meters long and you're setting the slice distance to more than 10 meters, of course, it won't create any slices. This is going to be version 1.00. I'm already working on version 1.01, which will be a free update for anyone purchasing the 1.00. And it will include an additional slider here that will allow you to set the number of slices instead of distance. So you will have two sliders, and if you're changing the distance, it will tell you on the number of slices slider how many slices you're gonna get, and vice versa. So if you're setting your number of slices to 10 slices, it will tell you at which distance it will base the slices on. Also, I'm gonna add an option to change the default distance in the add-on settings. Right now it's just set to 4 by default. And yeah, in the next version, you will be able to change that in the settings. Plus, I'm also working on getting this to work on multiple objects and not just a single one. You can select multiple objects, but it will only slice the last one you've selected. This add-on should be fairly useful for people who work with Unreal Engine, for example, and who still use light mapping. So let's say you're still using the GPU Lightmass instead of Lumen, and you have big meshes, and big meshes will require big light maps, and the texture size can be a bit of a limit if you're having big meshes. So it might be a good idea to just separate out a bigger mesh into smaller ones, so you can have a smaller texture resolution for the light map on each of the slices. This add-on will be available on the Blender Market and on my Gumroad for $5. If you have suggestions or any feature requests or just questions in general, let me know in the comments, or use the Ask a Question feature on the Blender Market, or just hit me up on any of my socials. I hope this add-on is what you were looking for, and I hope you have a great day. Goodbye.